dumb or did my mom really miss an opportunity for some money? Little context. I was 9 years old at the dentist for a cleaning and they noticed my first cavity. Luckily, 1, it was just a baby tooth, and 2, it was super small. They told my mom, bring her back in, we'll do a filling, may as well keep the tooth while you can. And I know they said it would be a filling because I have anxiety and I made my mom explain how fillings work 10,000 times. Day of the filling comes, my grandma had to take me to the appointment because my mom had to work. Whatever, they didn't say it to my grandma, they take me back, sit me in the chair. Said something along the lines of, oh, I'm so nervous, it's my first filling. They're like, oh, sweetheart, no worries, it's a baby tooth, we'll just pull it. In hindsight, yes, it makes sense to pull a baby tooth, but let me think. I'm actively defecating in my pants when they said they're pulling my tooth because my mom did not prepare me for this. Well, long story short, they do the Novocaine and start yanking on my tooth and I feel it. Like screaming bloody murder in the chair. And instead of, I don't know, giving me more Novocaine, the dentist is like, shh, we're almost done. No, I don't know if this is normal or if he just had some type of crazy grip, but my tooth exploded. Like shattered into a bunch of tiny pieces on the ground. But not only has my tooth been removed without parental consent and I've been thoroughly traumatized, but you've left me with nothing to put under my pillow. Maybe this story was like way worse in my mind, but I don't know, they pulled my tooth without my mom's consent. That dude also stopped practicing dentistry shortly after that. I think my mom should have sued or am I being goofy?
I have not slept in my own room in 4 nights. So on the weekend, we were at my grandparents' house. We came home. It was super late. We were all going to bed. And all of a sudden, this bat flies into my parents' room. First, my mom screams. And then I scream because the bat had flown upstairs into the living room, which is where I was. And then we all ended up just hiding in my parents' room downstairs. At the same time, we had opened all of the doors and windows in the house, hoping that the bat would just fly out while we were in my parents' room. After about 10 minutes, we checked the entire house and we could not find the bat, so we just assumed it flew out. I'm finally starting to go to sleep and then I hear my brother like slamming his door and running up and down the stairs and I'm like what's going on? Like, what are you doing right now? And he's like, I'm trying to get the bat out of my room. So it turns out the bat was still in the house. Then I finally hear him slam the door for good and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, where's the bat, Jack? And he goes, I don't know, it's not in my room anymore, so I don't care. I'm like, okay, whatever. But not even 5 minutes later, what do I see fly over my bed? The bat. So I start crying. I'm calling my parents. I hear this stupid bat like rustling and scraping and flapping all around my room. I hated it. And then eventually they came up and saved me from this stupid bat and they took care of it. Now I guess I'm just petrified that there's another bat in here. So I've been sleeping on the couch or in our spare room.
The scariest thing happened to me last night. The only reason I'm kind of laughing about this is because I'm still in a state of shock. Okay, so it all started when me and my friends wanted to get McDonald's. So we go to this McDonald's and the line, we would have been waiting for 45 minutes. So I was like, no, we gotta go. Bad idea. But we were really hungry and we wanted food. So we decided to go to a McDonald's super far away, like totally opposite direction. So we're driving like 20 minutes to this McDonald's super far away. Then we pull up to this McDonald's and we see these 2 really sketchy looking guys in the corner standing by a post, but I didn't think anything of it. Like it's 3 a.m, mind you, so I was like, whatever. So we get our food. First of all, the freaking ice cream machine, of course, wasn't working. The one thing I wanted, I was already in a bad mood and we just wanted to pull over to like take a bite of, my friend wanted to take a bite of her food. So we pull into this little spot and I'm not kidding, when one of the guys got into his car right next to us and started zooming up into his window and staring at us like this. And my friend goes, oh my God, he's staring at us. You need to move. So we drove to the middle of this parking lot that had like 300 spaces that were completely empty. It's 3 a.m. No one is out. I'm in the middle of this parking lot because we just want to eat our food for like 1 second. We were far away from the pass spot. And 2 seconds later, this man drives up to the spot right next to us. Right next to us in the middle of this empty parking lot. So I looked at my friend and I go, that's literally him. And I sped out of there like so fast. I've never driven faster. Started speeding down the roads. Thank God our other friends were in a car nearby also getting McDonald's. So they were able to like kind of help us. So we were going up and down the roads, making U-turns. And apparently the guy followed us and took 4 U-turns following us up and down the street, like literally following us, and I was speeding. And then my friend had my fries and he was like, oh, come to this parking lot to get the fries. And then the guy was pulling into that same parking lot, like magically following us. So then anyways, he keeps following us. I have 911 dialed. I was about to call the cops and my friend was like, there's nothing they're going to be able to do. So the people in the other car got in front of the guy and started driving super slowly to piss him off. So he ended up like getting lost and losing us. And I had to go back home. So I thought the guy was going to follow me home and I'm home alone. So it was the most terrifying thing ever. I'm out of time, but if you're ever in that situation, I'm so sorry. It was the scariest thing ever.
Have you ever been followed or chased? Get ready with me while I tell you the time a girlfriend and I were being chased by a guy out on the streets. One of my girlfriends and I were messaging and I asked her if she wanted to go on an afternoon/late night run and she agreed. I'm gonna lie, you guys, it was pretty late when her and I decided to go out for a run. It was probably around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. There were some occasions where I would go run solo, but for the most part, this girl was always my partner in crime. And I ended up meeting up at the gas station, and for the most part, you guys, the gas station was like the center of where her and I lived by. Her and I are on this run, and we usually stop maybe like a mile in. Like there's a specific street that her and I usually stop at. But we were like, you know what? I think we can do another mile. So we continued to run. The distance was a little bit further from our house, but it was still like around the same area. So her and I are running and we passed by some dealerships. And also, if you guys are wondering, wherever we are running, there's always some sort of like light. We're never in the dark. Her and I are running, and the street that we both decided to turn on to go back home, we had to pass by a dealership. End up seeing a random guy just standing by like the light where the dealership is. My friend and I are literally looking at each other and we were like, there's absolutely no way we're gonna run and go past this guy. So her and I go in the middle of the street, you guys. We're literally running in the middle of the street so we can get past that street, because all we needed to do was to pass the dealership and then go into the street that we needed to turn to go home. While her and I are running in the middle of the street trying to pass this guy, he looks at us, he's trying to get our attention, you guys, and I swear to you, her and I turn around to see how far we were from him, and he puts down his pants. Not only are we trying to get away from this guy because he's trying to chase us, he is literally like right there, and I was like, oh my god, there's no way he's literally giving a free show right now. So to you guys, her and I, we literally book it, and I start to get on the phone and call one of my good friends because he lived literally around the corner. So my guy friend didn't answer, so we had no other choice but to just book it. So I kid you guys not, we did not stop one bit, and we just continue running home because at this point, not gonna lie, we were pretty paranoid and pretty scared. And by the time we made it home, my friend called me and he was like, you guys don't need me to pick you up? And I was like, no dude, like it's a little bit too late, we're already home. Yeah guys, that is the time my friend and I went for a late night run and we were getting chased. And yeah, bye.
If you were to ask me my worst Christmas, I would tell you Christmas 2021. It was the first time I took a sip of liquor, so it was the first time I was hungover. And I also got COVID. But I'm gonna paint y'all the picture though. It was December 23rd and my homie Tony was throwing a party. And to go to the party, he told everybody, get a COVID test and make sure you're negative. So I did just that and slid to his party. He catered $300 worth of canes. I don't think canes is the best food ever, but put a brother like me around all that chicken, it's a scary sight. And I got this one homie, he's in the army, so I see him about twice a year. And he's like, Brian, you might as well take a shot with me. So I do. And like DJ Khaled, I take another one. And like a Kardashian with an implant, I asked for another one. 20 minutes later, no Uzi. I'm dead in the bathroom. Why is my man's on Snapchat? They had me in the bathroom looking like a Great Value Future cover. And that's not even the worst part. When I got home, I'm throwing up the entire day. My mom comes to my room thinking I have COVID. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I have COVID. I don't know what's wrong with me. So she's a nurse. She gave me this test. I lick it, immediately double line. Imagining opening your presents on FaceTime because you got COVID and can't be with your family. My type of Christmas.